Hey guys, this is Miss Nelson,
And Miss Hall.
and today we are going to go over adding and subtracting fractions with like denominators, meaning that the denominators are the same. So up here on the top, we left you a couple notes. It says to add or subtract like fractions, add or subtract the numerators and write the result over the denominators, so always simplify. So basically what that means is you are only worried about your numerators. Your denominators are going to remain the same with like fractions. A second note that negative fractions can be seen in a couple of different ways. Just be aware that no matter where your negative is, the whole fraction is actually considered negative, so make sure you follow your positive negative rules for adding and subtracting. So number 1 says 1/3 plus 2/3. So all I'm going to do, I know that my denominator is going to carry over and my 3 is going to remain, and I'm going to add 1 plus 2, which gives me 3. So my answer is 3/3. And you should know that any number over itself gives you 1 whole. So your answer is actually 1. On our second example, negative 3/7 plus 1/7. Again, I know that 7 is going to be my denominator. Now here we have a negative. So I have to go back and think about what is a negative 3 plus 1. So think back to your tiles or your number line. We know we start negative and we have to go to the right 1, so if we're at negative 3 and we go to the right 1, that puts us at a negative 2. So my answer is a negative 2/7.
Okay, on to our word problem. Eduardo used fabric to make 3 costumes. He used 1/4 yard for the first and 2/4 yard for the second and 3/4 yard for the third costume. How much fabric did Eduardo use altogether? So we're just going to write our equation. So we have 1/4 plus 2/4 plus 3/4. We're going to add all those together. Again, we know the numerator remains, denominator remains 4, so we're just going to carry that over. Then we're going to add 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 3 is 6. So that is an improper fraction, meaning our numerator is greater than our denominator, so we're going to simplify. 4 goes into 6 how many times? Once. And what's our remainder? We have 2 remaining. Now we can simplify that even more because we know 2 goes into both 2 and 4. So 2 goes into 2 once, 2 goes into 4 twice, and remember to bring your whole number over with it when you're adding. So he used 1 1/2 yards of material.
Okay, so when we switch to subtracting, we're going to do the exact same thing. All we've got to do is our denominator is going to remain the same. So in my example of 5/9 minus 2/9, I know 9 is still going to be my denominator. 5 minus 2 is 3, so I have 3/9. Now, I know that 3 and 9 can both be divided by 3, so 3 divided by 3 is 1, 9 divided by 3 is 3, so my answer is actually 1/3. On our second one, we have a negative 5/9 minus 2/9, so again, I'm going to have 9 as a denominator. Now, we have a negative 5, but we're also subtracting 2 more. So again, think back to your number line or your tiles. If I go from 0 to negative 5, this negative means that I'm going to continue to go left, so I end up at a negative 7/9.
A picture mounted on an artboard is 1/8 inch thick. The frame for the picture is 5/8 inches thick. How much thicker than the picture is the frame? So when they ask how much thicker, we know that it is a subtraction problem. So we have 5/8 minus 1/8, 5, so 8, our denominator stays the same, 5 minus 1 is 4. We know that 4 goes into both 4 and 8. So 4 divided by 4 is 1, 8 divided by 4 is 2. So it is 1/2 inch thicker.
And also, if you're not sure which one of these numbers to put first, because you were talking about an actual item, if I had put my 1/8 first, that would leave me with a negative 3/8, and you cannot, or no, I'm sorry, negative 4/8, and you cannot have a negative fraction when you are dealing with an actual item in real world, so make sure that you pay attention to which number you put first. So that sums it up. If you have questions, make sure you come prepared tomorrow with your questions.
Thank you.
Bye.